Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ramphefa-Nare, and I today thought that it's about time we did a sit down, let's get to know each other, and we'll do this as we grow and as we encounter new people. I recently found out that my friend's mom started watching my YouTube channel and she got some really bad impressions from it. The weird part, of course, was a bad impression part, but either ways, that thinking really got me thinking of how many people we dismiss when they start talking based on their own choices that they make that we don't relate to. But anyhow, my name is Matshidiso, and I think my family and other people call me TD. Yeah, I would say TD. I have a middle name that I will not be sharing. That middle name stays between my mom, my grandparents, and the people that know me, because I really ever use it and I have no identity to that name. But that is that I was born in Soweto, and then later on in the shacks in Soweto, and then later on taken to the hospital in Johannesburg. Of course, I don't know whether that is true or not, because that's something I was told and I have to believe that. But I believe that I was born and did not end up going to the hospital. It was my mom, her aunties, in a shack. She gave birth in Deep Sloot somewhere, and here I was. And then 6 months later, she was imported me to my grandmother. My grandmother is not a South African citizen. She doesn't even want to live in this country now anymore. I don't know what changed. I have lots and lots of siblings. I have approximately, just rounding off, more about 20 to 25 siblings. I know there's more, but those are the siblings that I have, and most of them, large number of them are quite young, and a large number of them are quite old. So just kind of just right almost at the middle. But nonetheless, I have a lot of siblings. My dad believes that an African man should share his I went to school, of course, where I lived with my grandparents, and then when I came here, I went to school in Park for 1 year in 2012, and then moved to Tomorrow's People School for the remaining of my high school career. I then went to AFDA for my after high school career. Man, I was just talking for such a long time, and I just realized that it was not even recording. I was talking about pets when I went to. I've had 2 pets so far. A family dog, his name is Zeki. I love him. I haven't seen him in a while. And then Daisy, which was my sister's cat, which I personally did not have the time to care for that pet. I loved her so much for that cat, and my sister didn't have the emotional capacity to care for her for like over a period of time. So thought it was best just to provide her or give her to someone who will give her the attention and the time she needed, because neither of us could do that. In terms of traveling, I have not traveled that much. I've gone to places traveling within the country, but I aim to travel a lot more in this coming time. I can't say this coming year, because honestly I don't know what my plans are for this year. I have ideas, but yeah, as I was saying, traveling, I do definitely want to travel a lot. I really do. We'll figure that out, but traveling is definitely part of the goals. It's in the dreams, it's part of the visions continuously. I think I put traveling at the back of my mind because I always felt that I needed someone to travel with, and to create a relationship where it's like, yeah, I want to travel with you, and genuinely mean that, and not feel like you're postponing someone on their own personal journeys. It takes a while to build such a relationship. When it comes to food preferences, I'm reading here those questions. I have been plant vegan since the end of 2017. So the end of 2017 to this day, I've been plant-based. I've been vegan. And I think I'm also transferring into being more plant-based, where eating plant-based is the main choice, the main preferred diet. However, I'm not opposed to eating some animal products. However, I refuse to eat animal products from the shops because they kill them. So and I don't know the animal I'm eating. Like, who am I saying thank you to the animal? Thank you for this body of an animal for sacrificing its life to me, and find out that it didn't even have a life to be sacrificed, and it just grew up in this constraining environment filled with suffering, and I'm just eating that suffering. So I'd rather eat animals that I have created a personal relationship with, because I know the day that I eat them is the day that I feel like we can, their body is sustaining me some type of way. But at the moment, that need is not there, and that space for that is also not there. So still vegan, plant-based, thank you. But my favorite food, based on the people that raised me and the food that I loved in eating a lot, and the food that brought me comfort when I was not feeling okay in my teenhood, was beans. Rice beans, or pearl barley beans, or pap and beans, or pap and spinach with homemade peanut butter, because my grandmother used to do that. She'll grow the greens, and she'll grow the peanuts. She'll grow the maize meal, the mealie meal, and she'll grind it all together eventually at some point. And it's gonna be that one beautiful day when I come home, the others are eating the chickens and the whatevers, and she'll just be like, my tea, here is a meal of the greens mixed with peanut butter. And I'll just sit there and I'll eat my heart away. Or beans, I'll just eat my heart away, because not only was I eating her effort, I was also eating the love that she had. That sounds weird when I put it that way, but nonetheless, that was what I was eating, and I love that. So moving on to music. I love all kinds of music, but I'll be real with you so that you can actually see my actual preferred music, or the music I diverted into in 2013, based on Apple recording everything. We love that. Spotify does that. We love it. We love to see who we've been obsessing with, which happens to be J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, and Chris Brown. Those are the general mainstream artists that I would stream all the time. However, I listen to anything good. Honestly, if I listen to it and it brings out this energy within me, I'm in it. But more so, I prefer, I think I would say, new R&B kind of a situation, classics, modern jazz, nyana, it's something that calms me down. But I can also bring it down with those 2010 playlists. I love it. I love curated playlists, purposely so. I've never taken the time to actually curate my playlist. Getting on to my hobbies, I love this. What you were saying, me being on YouTube and me sharing things publicly and talking to you like this, I love this. It's one of my hobbies. I love taking pictures of people, though I have not done that in a while because excuses. And making clothes has always been one of the things that I've been into, but it kind of have postponed because my hobbies, Lord knows, have been so expensive on my parents. I have wanted a 30+K camera that I still have to use there, and I'm fearful of using it because of how expensive it was, which is ironic, right? Because why would you buy it if you're gonna be so scared that it's gonna get stolen anyways? Because at the time when I was buying it, it couldn't be insured for some reason. I'm sure by now it can be insured. I also have a sewing machine that was 3K that I made my parents buy. Both of these were bought during my birthdays. So I was like, I want this. This is what I want. And at some point I stepped back. I was like, damn it, Titi, you might not want a lot of things, but the things you do want are so fucking expensive. But I'm like, and so I only asked them for my birthday. And one of the other things I enjoy is reading. Funny enough, this phone is prompted together by books. 2 books that I wanted to reread, and another book that I need to complete, which is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, which I have not completed. Because I read these things in season. I've always felt that the moment I feel like I need to read something is a moment that I know for a fact I need advice from whatever book it is that I'm reading. And it seems I'll start reading something and I will leave it on a specific page, and then months later I'll come back and then I'll continue reading. I'm like, oh shit, this is what I need right now. This is what I needed to hear, actually. which is what Eckhart Tolle's New Earth has done as of recent, that established those things into it. I've enjoyed reading for a very long time. At some point, I had like an Instagram account filled with all the books I've read or had purchased, because I know for a fact I posted Kevin Hart's book, but I never read that book. So it was the books I had purchased and aimed to read, and books that I had read. Majority of the books I had read. On top of that, I like film, so storytelling. Weirdly enough, when I read books, it's more psychology, more studying the general world, more spiritualism and all that kind of stuff. But then when it comes to my person, I love storytelling. It's my favorite thing. I want to incorporate it in some type of way. I love movies, I love watching TV shows, but I can't really. I'm always going back to Gossip Girl, Big Bang Theory. Which other one? I've tried to make Friends a recurring thing, but I just can't. I can't relate. It's not for me. And I appreciate that it has its target audience, and its target audience love it. It's just not for me. But as of recently, I've watched Fool Me Once, which I loved, by the way, the ending. And The Stranger. I've watched Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jacket is another fascinating thing. Yellow Jackets, I loved it. What else did I watch? I feel like this weekend I watched a whole lot of TV series that are just so good on Netflix right now. But now that I've watched all the ones and I've gotten a general hang of, okay, this theme generally, this is what's gonna happen, blah blah blah. There will be an interesting plot at the end. The usual suspect is never the suspect you think it is. So now that my brain has gotten a hold of that, it's just like, moving on to role models. Role models. Who do I look up to? I don't have any. I have adapted to the idea of role models only from school, when they would ask us who do we look up to, and even then I would have to make up someone and lie about it. I look up to my mom, I look up to this person, I look up to that person, because and so forth and so on. But I would say I look up to anyone who's willing to fight for whatever it is that they believe. I look up to people within my immediate surrounding areas, because then I could know, okay, cool, you can fight for things. People that stand out in communities, people that do those things. And stories that you hear about, like, that person once did that. Those stories, I think I inspire to them. My role models are the actions of people. I don't think it's actually the people, but the actions of the people. Because again, I know there are moments where you are the best person in the whole entire world, and there are moments where you are probably the worst person, but nonetheless your actions cannot be ignored. My goals are very, to be honest with you, the end goal, if I could communicate it into the universe, the end goal is that I live in my farm. There's a river running through it. I live in a nice, whether big or small, beautiful little farm, my own little house, where my own land, where I can eventually one day build my dream house. But for the time being just small little cottages, here and there, nothing too much, nothing fancy, half 50-50 off grid and on grid type of a situation. I don't want to depend too much on external factors, and that will be a reality slowly but surely. My smaller goals, or short, medium size, is to grow my YouTube channel, to to just share art with people. I want to make clothes. Those are small goals. I want to get back into sewing and designing my own clothes and my own outfits, and altering clothes at least. I love making clothes. I think I'm capable of making clothes. I've once made some things, but I think if I gave it the time and attention that it requires, I would really be able to succeed in that space. And I will do that. It's a new year. Happy New Year, by the way. It's a new year. My skills are vast. I'm quick to learn certain things. I'm very understanding when it comes to creative problem solving. Always get a lazy person to do your bidding. I'm telling you. My personal, how can I describe myself? I think I stand up for people who cannot stand up for themselves. There was a time in my life where I needed someone to stand up for me. I think I had shared something with somebody, and I needed them to be that person who says, no, that's enough. You cannot feel this way. You cannot be treated this way. And I didn't get that from that person. And I remember thinking, oh man, not thinking it, but I remember adapting to this thing of like, no, I would always listen. I always fight for the underdogs, which made me study a lot more about slavery, apartheid, racism, animal abuse, how we treat us. As I was saying before, I was violently interrupted by my place of work, requiring me to do extra work. Crazy, right? No, I appreciate that I'm employed. I always fight for the things that I like. My interests are very broad. Trust me, there is no way that you can ever find me in a place where I'm agreeing, seeing someone suffer, even if I disagree with how you are going about it. But I'll never say violence is the way to answer it. I'm always there. I'm always just defining the authority is one thing I can say, because I've done it. It just seems to be a trait. My fears, I think my biggest fear is like thinking, man, I could have done something about that, and then having not have done something about that, knowing, I don't know, literal fears. What am I scared of? For what is right, for what I feel is right, for continuously to learn. I think my biggest personal trait of all is just being curious. Once I get bored about something, I'm out. Once there's a decision, a conclusion that has collectively been made, or that, I'm out. But I cannot leave something suffering. My bucket list, extensive, cannot share that as of yet. I have not made it. Once I do, I can definitely share that with you. I'm a morning person as well. That's why I want to farm, because I know for a fact today by 4 a.m. I'm up, running around, looking things around, making sure everything is working. Having said that, I said that earlier that my friend's parent saw my YouTube channel, which I hope she sees this one, because he told me that they did not get the best impression of me, which internally I'm like, I don't know if I would want them to have the best understanding of myself. But also at the same time, if I continue on to spending time with my friend, they need to feel secure and safe, in the sense that me smoking cannabis does not mean that I am into crime. Or, as I was saying, look, man, I come to understand people in on a situation based type of a situation. I cannot come to a conclusion of who you are and how you are based on what someone has told me about you. I base that on my own personal experience. What someone has told me about you is a caution that I'm keeping along with me. But at the end of it all, I'm looking at you and I'm understanding you from your own behavior. Now, if after everything that we spoke about and discussed, and the persona you came to encounter, and then you completely disregard that because you saw me smoking a joint, I don't think it is my place to prove myself to you, to show you that I am strong, I am what, I'm good for a child spent. No, it's not my place. We are grown adults, and to be so stuck up with weed at this modern time, it seems a bit ignorant for greater things, because there are much greater issues we could worry about. And I'm not saying to say that to divert from your own concerns you have in regards to cannabis. I'm just simply saying there's worse thing that could be happening over here. Could be doing something terrible. So that made me feel that I needed to make a get to know me situation. I keep saying situation a lot. A get to know me video. There's not much that has been shared here, but it does share some sort of a light. I do not carry myself in any falsified way or pretend to be something that I am not. I am what you are meeting me, and the energy that you'll be encountering is the energy that compensates or levels out with the energy that you have, unless your frequency is on a very much low vibration. Therefore, I cannot bring myself to that level of vibration. But either ways, you'll be getting a persona, an attitude that works with that frequency that you're vibrating on. And I would imagine that's how it is for you. I would fight for my friend. He's a good human being. He's helped me in so many ways, and this is not me trying to advocate for his parent to just be like, let the kid free. Nah, I'm just making clear that if you are going to come and watch my YouTube channels and use that as a way of judging who I am, watch them completely and listen to what I'm saying. Don't just look at what is being done there. Listen to the content of what I'm doing. Listen to how I carry myself when I communicate with you. Watch and how I live my life on a day-to-day basis. Because only based on that can you then come to a conclusion and say this is a terrible person for you to be spending your time with. But if you're just basing it on something that you lack understanding and education in, Do not try to make it my job to now make you feel safe and comfortable, because I did not make you feel unsafe in any way. Your own understanding and your limitation are the what is making you feel unsafe. I say that respectfully. I say to anyone who will ever encounter a video or know about Matshidiso and be curious who Matshidiso is, this is that. Honestly, look at all the things in my content. You'll get to know me. I don't think I'm afraid to vocalize what I think about situations, and I'm not afraid to even go into depth to explain what I actually mean when I say these things. It's over explaining, sometimes it's overdone, but to me, it gets the message clear, because like everybody else, we understand things differently. Sometimes you just need one sentence, and sometimes you need a whole entire book to explain and make you understand what something actually is. This has been Matshidiso, and will continue to be Matshidiso in an unapologetic and a growing type of way. I cannot nurture your harbored lack of understanding of the world. I really cannot nurture that. With that being said, I will see you next week. Happy New Year. Second video of the year, by the way. We'll be doing this. 52 videos have to be out this whole entire year. Like 52 videos have to be out already. We've covered our first one, we move on to the second one, and I hope that I'm excited to see what this journey grows into, because I honestly cannot live to nurture someone else's comfort, or to hold on to someone else's truth that isn't my own. That's your job to hold on to. Go educate yourself, learn about things, and I'll do the exact same way. So the next time we have a conversation, we can see each other as people and understand each other as people, not these things that are supposed to just and follow. That's not who I am, and that's who I will never be. And I apologize if that makes you feel uncomfortable in any kind of way. I am not your child. I am not supposed to raise your child. I'm not supposed to do anything that is good inspiration for anybody. This content is not made for you to grow from. I do not have your best interest. I have my own personal best interest at heart. I'm sharing conversation, I'm sharing spaces with you, but does not mean that everything I say and everything I do should be something that you take on and something that reflects the people around me. If I'm doing crime and the people you can see, the people with me that are also doing crime, then of course be concerned. Associate me with the criminal people. But if you are seeing people behind me, we're smoking weed, we're being relaxed, we're focusing on our own mental health, we're meditating, we're reading, we're exploring, we're having deep, difficult conversations that society is not able to, and then you want to go dismiss all of that and say, no, but there's weed involved. No, you are not the target audience. Maybe you're supposed to watch from the sidelines, or just turn and see me as a glimpse and move on, but you are not my target audience, and I cannot force myself to feed what you are. I cannot make my content fit what you are. I cannot make my relationship with people external to myself what you want it to be. It can never be that way. And you watching this yourself, and you have not associated me in some type of way, you have the right to do what I just said. If anyone puts you in a box that you don't belong in, you have the freedom and the space to say, no man, that is a box you created. That is a box you designed, drew up and made it stand still. It's not my place to fit into it. It's your place to find people that fit into it. But it's not for me to make myself fit into it. Do you get what I'm saying? Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you. It's time for me to do work. I am at the office working. This independent woman bullshit, I swear to God.